Plenty to discuss about what we saw at yesterday's training. It was essentially a bunch of match sim and some prep leading into that, rather than the typical sessions we've seen where there's been a big block of running and all sorts of drills going into a little bit of match sim. Yesterday was different. It was preparing for the match simulation. So as far as absences were concerned, we saw De Goey wasn't there. Tom Mitchell was doing rehab, as well as Harvey Harrison. Charlie Dean and Philae McRae participated in some drills. I didn't see Joel Cochran, and who else didn't I see? I think that's just about it. I might be missing one or two, but nevertheless, you get the point, right? First things first, I do want to address the title straight away, because I'm sure there might be a couple of St Kilda fans who want to know what exactly I'm on about. And I think we all know. And it's not in light of the injuries that St Kilda are enduring right now with Dougal Howard, Max King, and those sorts of players. I'm looking at their list going into 2025, their key position players. And I'm just wondering what made them think it would be a good idea to delist Tim Membrey, right? What was the difference? I think Collingwood offered Tim Membrey 2 years. St Kilda were only offering one on the table. Their argument was perhaps Membrey. They didn't see Membrey as in their next premiership window. But if you listen to the narrative or the way people are talking about St Kilda, everyone thinks they should be at least in the top 8. I think they should. And if the fans of their own club don't believe they could be a top 8, top 4 side, then that's probably why they're perpetually failing at the top level, sustaining. The only period of time in my life has been through the late 2000s, 08, 09, 10, 11, and then from there was a bit of a disaster. You look at the Luke Ball feud, they messed up there, and I think they've got this one wrong as well. I think Tim Membrey at age what? How old is he? Let's find out. He's what? I'm guessing he's 32, 33. Tim Membrey age. He's 30 years of age. He's 31 in May. And how many goals did he kick last year? I want to say it was like 30 odd. How is he not in your next premiership window? I'm looking at their list, right? Alex Tyree, key defender being drafted, going to take some time. Callum Wilkie, defender. Dougal Howard, defender. James Barrett, who they also drafted, defender. Make sure I'm recording my mic on Audacity. I am. Okay, we're still good. Caminiti started as a forward, has been doing well in the back line. Cooper Sharman, they rate him, I think. And then Max King. And then medium-sized forwards. Who do they have? Dan Butler, Jack Higgins. That's it, really. What they got? Mason Wood, who plays on the wing. So I'm just scratching my head at who's going to support Max King. What's your backup if Max King gets injured? And he had knee scans yesterday. I just don't think they were batting very deep. They delisted Lewis Hayes. I think it's a monumental mess up, and it's going to look really bad on St Kilda. I know I'm going early on this, but they fucked up. Yeah, they messed up on this one. I really do believe that. So, all right. The reason why I say all of this is because what we're seeing at training, the partnership between Membrey, McStay. Can't say I've seen a whole lot of Mihocek, I will be honest, and I'm a big Mihocek fan. I haven't seen a whole lot of him just yet in preseason, but he's at the age and he's got that respect, and we know what we're going to get from him in season. So I'm not too stressed about Mihocek. But what McStay and Membrey did in yesterday's match sim, albeit at times against their VFL counterparts and like Sam Glover and the likes, doesn't matter. What they did was impressive. Contested marks, leading out strongly, kicking goals, and the fact that they've never played together and they look like they've played 200 games with each other, call it the Sidey and Pendles connection, it looks really good. So that's the bone I had to pick with St Kilda, and that's why, okay? As far as positions were concerned, Perryman, Pendles, Nick Dacos represented the first team in the first half, and then the team sort of got mixed up after the second half, so we won't look into that too much. I thought Will Hoskin-Elliott for the white team was really good. Kicked 2 really difficult goals. 1 set shot from the boundary and 1 snap across his body on his inverted side off his right boot. So right snap over his shoulder on the right side of the boundary. That was really, really good. Somebody we just don't really talk about. It's not sexy to talk about Will Hoskin-Elliott. Yeah, everybody wants to talk about Nick Dacos, Pendles, Josh Dacos, but yeah, Will Hoskin-Elliott is the jack of all trades, and he does what he needs to do for the Pies when needed. And I think we underrate how much of he's the best gap stop you could possibly have. I say that in the best way possible. Markov was really impressive. His voice is always there. His tenacity is always there, but just the decisions he made defensively, I thought were really encouraging. And then in the same breath, Ash Johnson. Because the problem with Ash Johnson has been, at least this preseason, he's lacked confidence, he's lacked pressure, couldn't catch the ball, couldn't catch a cold if he tried. And now, after, I don't know what it is, but yesterday's session, he was marking everything, he was applying pressure. If you watch the training highlights, there's actually a snippet at some point in that 30-minute footage where he chases down Nick Dacos. And you don't really see Ash Johnson apply that sort of pressure, especially in training. He looked happy, a lot of smiles, a lot of laughs. I know he's a long way back, especially after the raps I've just given Membrey and Mihocek, but I'm just saying, don't count him out yet. He's not finished. With what we've seen him do at his best, if he can do that consistently, he should be a part of that side at some point, at least the backup, right? What else? Coxie was really good. It's just another problem. It's another dilemma in this puzzle that we have to put together. That is the starting 23 for opening round. It's like you got Membrey, Mihocek, Mihocek, DC, and then you got Mason Cox, like who trains well, who is training well, who plays well. Sidey, a lot of midfield time, especially in that second half, and he had the ball on a string. He had leather poisoning, genuinely. It was funny because every time he got the ball at a certain point, Jeremy Howe was just pumping up his tires, just because he knew he was getting the ball wherever he wanted it. He was winning the contest, and he was winning the outside ball. He was winning the loose balls, and he was disposing extremely well. And we know how much he struggled with disposing of the ball last season. So really positive from Steel Sidebottom. I'm going to keep bringing this next man up, Curtis Taylor. He didn't take any attractive and, clickbait marks or anything this time around. It was more the fundamentals that really impressed me. His pressure at ground level, didn't let people pass him. There were a couple of times where he had to dispose of the ball really quick by hand. Before he even got the ball effectively, he would catch the ball, and in the same motion, he would release it and ensure that handball receiver is able to take that in his stride and get a kick going inside 50 or something or anything like that. Good voice as well. Good voice. How old is Curtis? Let's find out now. Curtis Taylor, I want to say he's like 24, 25. Curtis Taylor. He's 25 this year, so he's still young. Still young. Great potential. Great voice for his age. It really seems like he's found a home at Collingwood already. So, yeah, keep an eye on him. And there are some people in the comment section on Instagram. They're saying, why are you praying for someone to get injured so that the mid-season draftee spot opens up? I'm not saying that. I'm saying if. You always have to have a contingency. And if we don't have a spot open in the mid-season draft, I'm saying other clubs should strongly consider this man. That's what I'm saying. I would never prey on somebody to get injured. That's not what I'm about. I just want the best for somebody who I think is training really well. That's all it is. The youngsters, Will Hayes, very sharp, very nimble. I said in my 1-minute training report on Instagram yesterday, he is another version of Bobby Hill. So I think we've bloody hit the jackpot with this draft. Even Charlie West was impressive, took a couple contested marks yesterday. I don't know about Joel Cochran yet. I would say it's Will Hayes number 1, Charlie West number 2, Joel Cochran like down here at the moment. He hasn't had a good run due to injuries, he's been missing sessions, so that's fine. Everyone develops at a different time. If we hit 2 of the 3 players from this draft where they were beyond pick 40. I got to shake that man. Whoever brought the attention to Charlie West and Will Hayes, one being from South Australia and one from Western Australia, I'd like to know how they came across them if it was a national championships, because the recruitment team have so far, they're just impressing so much for first year players who aren't first round picks at training. Like they're doing better than some of the second, third and fourth years that are training right now. TJ was good, a lot of voice, a lot of run. He tries hard. He's probably still got some work to do in the VFL, but looking good nonetheless. And then the second string midfield in Lockie Sullivan and Ned Long. I thought Sully was unreal. A little bit sloppy by foot at sometimes, but really good below the knees. Kicked a goal inside 50, a really nice goal inside 50. We had Ned Long as well, who is also a little bit sloppy by foot, but worked very well and also kicked a good goal inside 50. So really positive for those players who will be spending most of the season in the VFL, but it's important that they keep pushing their case because they need to stay ready. They need to stay ready, especially with our aging list. That's just what it is. We said Josh Dacos off the halfback flank. It was interesting to see that despite Charlie Dean not being available, Billy Frampton did start with the second team in the first half. I didn't see a great deal of Reef in that first half, but I think Black won the first half by 5 goals to 2 or something, so it wasn't really coming his way too much. I think that's just about it from the training report. If you enjoy this, guys, that's great. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Is there anything you'd like me to focus on moving forward? And yeah, until next time, go Pies.